Welcome and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm doing another honest update, but this time about the Ohuhu Acrylic Paint Markers. So we are going to draw my favorite moth of all time, the garden tiger moth. But this time we are doing it on toned paper. I really wanted to see how these markers showed up on a nice toned paper. So this is just a Strathmore toned brown paper. It's called Tan. And I am using the tan paper. So here we are, I am just getting into it and I am starting with the white to see just how bright I can get the white on the paper. But like I have mentioned before, and I will say it again, any acrylic paint marker has to be layered up, okay you guys? So I'm not knocking the brand. You always have to at least put it in your head, I'm going to have to do at least 2 to 4 layers depending on the brand. And I will show you guys 1 layer versus 2 layer. And so far, the white's doing great just with 1 layer. So over here on the left side, I have 2 layers and over here I have 1. There is a significant difference, but I still honestly think that the white looks pretty good even just with 1 layer. Now, these are all the colors I ended up using, and this is how my garden moth is starting to come together. This is what it looks like before I use any color pencil over top, and I was really happy I was able to mix that gray. You see that blue gray on the spots? It's not part of the set. I was able to mix that on the paper, and I was super excited. Now I was able to go in with some nice colored pencils. I ended up using my Posca colored pencils and they layered over top beautifully, which made me very excited because I've been doing more and more mixed media art and it adds depth, texture, and dimension, and I really think it makes the whole thing pop. So I was really happy with this illustration, so much so that I actually made this into a sticker. I will show you guys that later. Now that orange glob on the bottom was an accident, but we're gonna leave it because as Bob Ross said, sometimes they're just happy little accidents and it doesn't matter, it's just my sketchbook. But I was really happy with the color range that I was able to mix the colors that I needed, and I was so happy with the result. I actually have this available over on Redbubble. Redbubble has a bunch of my artwork in all kinds of different shapes and different products. This is just my sticker page and I have a huge selection. If you're interested, I will link it down below. But I really just want to emphasize, I made my beautiful little garden moth into a sticker, and if you guys are interested, there's a variety of 4 choices. You can have it in glossy, matte, transparent, or holographic. So shameless plug. If you like my garden moth as much as I do, consider supporting me and going to grab a sticker. And what's nice is on Redbubble, if you buy 10 or more stickers, your whole cart ends up being 40% off. So check that out, guys. Anywho, I fast forwarded a few months later. I had to get under my weighted blanket to get all cozy while baby was sleeping, of course, because I almost always get under my nice weighted blanket to get relaxed, get in the mood, and we are going to play with the markers again, but this time in my sketchbook, and we're going to do something completely different. We're going to do some bears. Now, I have already done a video about how I drew inspiration from all these little creatures. I will link it. I think it's actually a vlog. I will link it. But I drew inspiration from the little bear on that boppy again. And I did it, of course, in my own style. And this time I did it with the little feet pointing inwards. And that was just an idea I had in my head and I had to get out onto paper. And this is months and months after the garden moth. And I keep emphasizing this because I end up having issues with the markers later on in the video and I don't quite understand why. So over here, this is fall stuff from Duolingo. I find them so funny, so I'm just doing a bear spread. So for my other bear, I asked my followers over on Instagram, should I name him Pete or Bertram? And I might even just name him Bertram. I haven't decided, but Bertram versus Pete is what won. So if you're interested in helping to name my characters, consider following me over on Instagram. That's where I tend to be most active. So I pulled out my Ohuhu markers here. I was super happy with my last illustration. I like the color range and I love the browns. I've gone on and on about marker sets and browns, and I'm particular about my browns. Remember I said earlier, you've got to shake it well. Look at this. This is like an ochre color, but if you look in the barrel, this literally looks pink, you guys. You have to mix all of them very well before using them to get all the pigments amalgamated together and to avoid streakiness. Now, I don't know why my brown was so streaky, but I just went with it and I was like, okay, I'm going to take my own advice. I need to do multiple layers, and This is just me doing layer 1. And yes, before someone hops in the comments, I did shake my brown a lot. I don't know why it was so streaky, but I got a little ray of hope here because I started to put a second layer and I'm like, okay, the streakiness isn't so bad. It's quite uniform. I can deal with this. So that little part gave me a glimmer of hope. But I just felt judged by Falstaff like the whole time. Is that just me, you guys? Because like I felt judged. Anyways, so here I am putting on a second layer and I felt judged the entire time. I think he was upset. He was so streaky and I'm upset too, you guys. He ended up being way more streakier than I wanted him to be, and I don't quite understand why, because I shook my marker. The other markers all around, the colors turned out great. I'm super happy with the background. Everything else is fine, but guys, I could not get that brown for some reason to be less streaky. I did multiple layers. I shook it all the time, and I don't understand because I didn't have this problem when I used it the other times. So anyways, fast forward. I did not feel judged by this bear. He was inviting. He's just like, come on over here, color me, I'll help you feel better. And Falstaff just made me feel judged. So I was like, sorry, buddy, we're going on the other side. He's so much nicer. He's so much more inviting. Let's just try to figure things out. So here I am watching another artsy YouTuber, and I'm about to color in my bear. And I really want this to be very fanciful and really fun. And then I pulled out a blue, and look what happened. It's like it got all clumpy in the barrel and the marker dried out, and I was so sad because I haven't even had these a full year, and no matter what I did, you guys, I dipped it in water. I could not get this blue to work, and I was so sad. I wanted my water to be two-toned, and I don't really know what happened, you guys. I don't know if the lid cracked. I don't know if I just have a defective marker. I do have to say, out of the whole set, this is the 24 set. It's the only marker that this happened. And I was disappointed, but I just went in with the pale blue, and instead of doing it a fully two-toned, I just went in with this blue, this nice pale blue, and it did end up covering it nicely, but I was really thrown off by that and unbelievably disappointed. So if you guys have these markers and it happened to you, let me know, or maybe this is just a fluke and a one-off thing. So here I am. Baby has woken up from his nap, and this is where I'm at with my illustration so far. Other than my blue mishap, I'm happy with the pinks. I'm happy with how the rest of it's turning out. I still have a lot of work to do, as you guys can see, but so far, other than that mishap, I am happy with the markers. I just don't know what's going on with the brown and that particular blue, which is disappointing because then that's 2 markers out of a set of 24 giving me issues. And all I can say is I didn't touch it for a few months, and I don't know why just having the markers sit there did that. So definitely disappointed, definitely confused. So of course the brown was streaky. Like I mentioned in the first part of this video, it was streaky. I didn't want that streaky look, so I decided, what if I do like that and make a kind of a textured look? And it's okay. It's not the look I was going for. It kind of makes me feel judged and uncomfortable, but he kind of looks poodleish. But look, guys, I can't leave it all streaky like that. So I think this little fur texture is better than what I'm getting on the face, but it kind of looks poodleish and like he went into the pond and got all floofy after, kind of doggish. But I have to say, love the greens in this set. I am so happy with how my greenery and my little flowers are. Out of my illustration, I think that's the best part of it. And I'm really happy with how the gray laid down. I don't want to complain too much about all of the markers. I'm just explaining my circumstance to give you guys some food for thought in case you're thinking of buying them. And like I said, it could just be that I got a defective piece, and that is what it is. So here's my full spread in all its glory. The streaking isn't so bad, but I am disappointed because I do have other markers and I don't understand what happened in the few months that it was sitting in the storage room. And the storage room, you know, all my art supplies are there and they're all fine except these. So, you know, I don't understand. I'm just happy that I did it. I'm happy with the pinks. I'm happy with the greens. I just thought I would give you guys an update because I don't think it's fair for me to just review things, say how much I like it, and then not give you guys an honest update. So let me know, do you have these markers? Are you going to try them? Have you watched my previous marker video? If not, I'll link it down below, and I'll even share a playlist of other marker videos. All right, stop, hold it. called it. I've got some news. I was able to fix this beautiful blue marker. I made this video. I was just about to post it, and look at this, you guys. I was able to get it going. Now, I didn't physically unclog this section. I still don't know what happened to that little section, like I said earlier in the video, but I was able to unclog the nib, and not only that, this marker's like new. Look how juicy it is, guys. So, if this happens to you guys, if you're gonna throw the marker out anyways, it doesn't hurt to just let it soak in a little thing of water. Maybe it'll help. It seemed to be the remedy for me. I am super excited because this color is so beautiful. And yes, we're doing a second smiley face. I am super excited. So, do I recommend these markers? Yes. Do I know what happened? No. I really like the nibs on these markers. I'm hoping that these will hold up, and who knows, maybe I'll make another update in 6 months, and hopefully none of the other markers clog, but there seems to be a solution. Bye, guys.